Welcome back to Royals Franchise. We are 46 and 52, and a lot happened in the last episode, including the All-Star break, Home Run Derby, All-Star game, All-Star Futures game, and most importantly for us in our future, the MLB first-year player draft. We do have these players that we're going to need to sign. I have put the top players with the lowest interest in these top three spots. Players will not consider signing a contract unless they're at 50% or more interest. So in order to generate interest, these players have to be in these slots generating more interest. Of course, at the top of the draft, I took players we knew about. Guys that had high scouting progress, like Chris Bates, for example, that maybe we knew would be pretty average, but we knew about them. We knew where they were going to be solid, and then we took chances on Rhett Park and Rondell Galarraga. Galarraga wasn't even somebody that was on my draft list, but Rhett Park was the only third baseman that looked interesting to me. Switch hitter, I love. It's only 5'9", 162 pounds, but looked like he could be average to above average at the plate. Looked very well-rounded in terms of future attributes for really everything, with power left really being above average. But I think being good at everything, even if it's just good, should simulate very well. And there's a lot of simulating that goes on in this franchise, and he's very good defensively too, so I thought he was worth taking a chance on. Of course, we don't actually know if any of that's true. He's only 10% scouted, but I preferred him to some of the guys that were only 5% scouted. Galarraga was just, we'll take a chance on a catcher. But I think down the board, that's what you want to do. You want to focus more on some guys that have the super high ceilings, the super high upside, even if there's a lot more volatility there. You can afford to miss down the board, I believe. But the big thing this episode is that the trade deadline is coming up, and that is something we're going to need to be prepared for. We will be making trades in this episode. Although Nelson Velasquez is no longer injured, we'll place him on the bench for now and look potentially to sign our draft pick. So let's go ahead back into the lineups real quick. Nelson Velasquez has been someone who's hit really, really well for us this year. You can see he's actually getting better, especially against lefties. We want him back in the lineup, and sitting Drew Waters, who's been cold, I think, is kind of a natural move there. And MJ Melendez can stay in the DH spot in the cleanup role. I think that's actually fine. Salvi behind the plate, I think, has been a godsend for us. He's had a great first half. Freddie Fermin's been really bad. I can't start him every day. Salvi's going to be the guy. And I think this is a decent lineup against right-handers. I think Michael Garcia has been a better second leadoff at the bottom of the order here against righties. And then against lefties, he's got great contact, so he can hit near the top. And then, of course, as I mentioned, I need to get Nelson Velasquez back out there. And we can sit MJ Melendez against lefties. Not really too upset about that. And this is an interesting team. Isbell ahead of Velasquez, I think, has potential. Velasquez can just hit 7th. That's not really a big deal at all. Contact is bad, but he can still hit it out against lefties. So get Isbell on in front of him. Maybe we get some easy runs that way. Or Salvi still catches against lefties because Fermin can't hit against righties. And MJ Melendez still plays. I don't know. Maybe that's dumb, but hitting 2 catchers doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. We are going to jump into a moment here. Bottom 11, nobody out. Bobby Witt Jr. on second, Pasquantino on first, and Salvi at the plate. Now, unfortunately, Salvi's not really the type of guy you would bunt with, and if we want to win the game, bunting over Bobby Witt to second, or from second to third, wouldn't be the worst idea. But are we going to do that with Salvador Perez when he's one of our best hitters? Who is on the bench that can actually bunt? Drew Waters can't bunt. And we've already wasted, plenty of options here. The only guy that can really bunt is Garrett Hampson, and he was in the lineup today against the lefty. So I know you would think, oh, you got a bunt here. Salvi has 36 bunt. I don't think it's an especially good idea. So we're going to try to swing away here and hopefully get a productive out at least, and that is not one of them. It's a double play. Got a cutter to hit, but it hit it right on the ground at the shortstop, and that is exactly what the White Sox were looking for. That is a disastrous situation. And also with the bunt there, we are down by 1. So what does a bunt do? It gets maybe another runner into scoring position. You still need a hit. And Nate Eaton's going to have to be the guy for us. Did take a swing with him, though. I don't think it'd be good to take him out after that, but I'm going to. Freddie Fermin is just better against righties. That's what it comes down to. Hopefully he's capable of getting a hit here. It's a little bit weird to take a swing with a player and then pull him, but you know what? He got hurt. He tweaked something. He's going to be fine, but he's out for the game. Freddie, for being into the game, has been relegated to a bench role for us and now is down 1-2 in the count. Come on, Freddie. Base hit. It's a really tough sweeping curveball. Thought that might have caught the outside corner. Just off the plate. Fermin kind of reaches and pokes that into right field. But it's an easy out. Really hung up in the air. And the White Sox win a close one in extras. Runners on first and second with nobody out. Still could not win the game. Couldn't even tie it. All right, let's offer Chris Bates a contract. Bonus allotment remaining is a little over 12 or a little 12.4 million. And the suggested draft slot value for this pick is about 2.1 million, a little bit over that. What if we offered him 1.79, signed him under slot value, and Chris Bates has decided to sign with the Royals? Good start. We know he's going to be pretty solid. Potential has even jumped up here to a 78 to 93. Not too bad. Of course, you do get more scouting the more these guys come up on the board. And I'll tell you what, Rhett Park up to 50%, and his potential is still 84 to 99. That makes me pretty excited about his future. That could be very nice. Rondell Galarraga's 25%. Really can't, take too much away from that, but it's still 67 and 97. The problem with these two is that their overalls are especially low, and especially for Rondell Galarraga. Let's throw in our first round pick, number 6 overall, Morgan Gilly, 58% interest. Slot value for this is 6.63 million. I think we get him for 5.25 and sign him under slot value. And Morgan Gilly, our number 6 overall pick, has decided to sign with us as well. These guys can decline. I think it happened in Reds franchise, but hopefully these guys just don't. Juan Soriano potential is 89 to 97, and he's 70% scouted. We knew he was going to be pretty good, so I like that. We'll up this slightly. And there's our first decline. Juan Soriano looking for a bit more money. Try to get his interest up, and we'll fire back a little bit later. We do have another moment. Nate Eaton on second. Bobby Witt Jr., 3 for 3 with a homer and a double, has also walked in this game. That's more like it. Bottom 8, 2 outs. Bobby Witt Jr. can hit for the cycle if he hits a triple. It's not likely, but with his speed, it's possible, especially at either of these two stadiums, really. In Kansas City, especially deep gaps, even if we were on the road. I mean, Chase is pretty deep as well. Bobby Witt just get one in the gap, hit it hard, but that is snared by the second baseman, Ketel Marte. And Bobby Witt Jr. is retired for the first time. We will come away with the win. 8-2. Witt Jr. had a tremendous game. Homer for Drew Waters as well. Seth Lugo was great. Could be a name that gets moved here at the deadline, though. But I like to see Bobby Witt Jr. actually hitting again. That's what we wanted to see from him. Has been off to a really tough start. But if he can actually start playing really well, we're going to be in business. As the Padres are offering us a trade. Dylan Lesko for MJ Melendez. Dylan Lesko is someone who I have on my fantasy baseball team. Just drafted him, actually, so I know quite a lot about him. He's a number 38 prospect in baseball, according to Baseball America right now. And he's got A potential in the game. 67 overall. He's got an electric fastball in real life. 93 is not what he can hit. He can be upper 90s. He's got an unbelievable changeup. This is a very interesting offer. It feels a little bit unrealistic, and I probably should be accepting this, but I like MJ Melendez. And Melendez, of course, we tweaked with the attributes here, and you guys knew all about that if you've actually watched the episode. You know, we tweaked the attributes to better represent some of these players, and did that for a lot of teams as well. But MJ Melendez, he's one of our better hitters. He's not hitting especially well. Has B potential. This is interesting. I really should be accepting this, but MJ Melendez is kind of somebody I was looking to build around in some capacity. What is my pitching looking like? It's obviously not great, and we could really use a legit pitching prospect. This is one of those spots where it's incredibly difficult because I don't know that the Padres would be offering this in real life. I'm looking at their pitching. And, I mean, he is clearly their top prospect. They went out, they made a move for Dylan Cease, who's obviously going to be off limits, but do I make this move? Also argue that MJ Melendez gives us a lot of versatility with the ability to potentially play catcher. I should be accepting this. I'm not going to. Logan Porter sustained an injury, bruised arm. We can auto on AA here. I'm surprised I'm not getting more trade offers. I have a big name that I'm interested in getting. It wasn't Trevor Rogers. He has been offered to us before. I declined it at the time, but I could see myself going out and making it happen. Seth Lugo is on my trade block. I'm interested in trading Seth Lugo. He's under contract for 3 years. He's 34 years old, though, and I just don't really see him being a part of my future. But good player, obviously. The beat potential is going to keep him, you know, around an 80. So he definitely is good. Trevor Rogers is struggling. I think he can be something, but what would I give up to get him, you know? That's kind of the big deal. Renfro's on here. Apparently, there are teams that are interested. And the Yankees are interested in offering us a trade. Well, I'm a big Yankees fan, and I think we might have seen this one before. Maybe not. I think, no, did I actually, maybe I said this as an example. The Yankees are offering Spencer Jones. He is a freak. He is supposed to be like the next Aaron Judge, even though nobody will be. But he's 6'7". That's why they're saying it. Big lefty bat. Big time power. The attributes certainly would not indicate that, but big time power. And we would be trading Michael Wacha in order to get him. Again, it's hard to say. I don't think this would be accepted in real life, of course, but what do I do in the game? Because I'm running the franchise. I probably should have traded MJ Melendez. If they're going to offer me these trades, I probably should be accepting, right? Wacha's a tough one. He's under contract for 2 years. This is a guy I would trade here. We're not really competitive right now. So Wacha's having a not so great season. I probably should just look to move him. Spencer Jones would appear blocked, but he's good. He could play center for us, which could be valuable. I'm going to make it happen. Yankees bias, whatever. He's got the power to clear, you know, the stands or clear the outfield walls at Kauffman. I'm going to make it happen. Is it realistic? It's tough to say, but he's a heck of a player. Again, I probably should have accepted the Dylan Lesko trade. The difference is that Michael Wacha's older, and, I mean, the Royals just brought him in. Oftentimes, those guys are the ones who get moved at the deadline. And usually, if they're under a one-year contract, it makes more sense. But with control, you can get a better return. Wacha had a little bit more control than just a typical one-year deal. I think it was 3, right? Or 2 years, maybe Seth Lugo was 3. But MJ Melendez is like the young, homegrown guy. He's hitting decently well for us. I just didn't want to do it. Spencer Jones tries to improve our terrible farm system. He's not exactly lighting it up. Gavin Cross is, though. Gavin Cross is crushing it and getting a lot better. Is Gavin Cross the glitch? He's having a killer season at AA. I gotta love that. Spencer Jones into the mix, though. Maybe you just put him at right field or something. Now, we did draft an outfielder with our first pick, and as you can see, Morgan Gilly we expect to be, you know, a starting center fielder for us. Spencer Jones could easily move to the corner, as we will try and get one of these players. This is very interesting. 90% scouted now in Rhett Park. 88 to 99 potential. So he's going to have very good potential. Overall, 51 to 62, not great. But he is what we thought he could be. The potential is higher than I expected, to be honest. I don't know how he has first base at 5'9", but I'm not mad about it. He seems like he could actually be the gem of our draft class. I don't know about Rondell Galarraga so much, but Rhett Park seems like he's going to end up being a hit. Juan Soriano, I'm trying to sign all these guys under slot value if I can. And Juan Soriano declines again. What about Rhett Park? You wanted to sign for about $600K? And Rhett Park has decided to sign. Undersized, but could be good. Let's get Mitch Soriano into the mix. And then we'll keep that as is. We don't have a lot of time left to sign these prospects. About a week, right? I think it's before that August 1 deadline. Ooh. Cubs are offering us Christian Hernandez for Salvi. This was said to be like the next A-Rod. I swear they were calling him that. Only C potential. He's lost a lot of hype as a prospect. I would absolutely not trade Salvador Perez to get Christian Hernandez at this point. No way. I'll offer Juan Soriano a bit more money, $1.99 million, and he is signed with the Reds. 91 to 96% potential, fully scouted, 60 to 65 overall in the class. Again, this looks like a great pickup for us. He was our 38th ranked player in the draft when it's all said and done, but I still am super happy with the potential and the overall. Bobby Montez, I said I didn't really understand why he wasn't getting more hype. We had him like fully scouted for a while now, and the potential was in that 84 to 94 range. A lot of you guys told me to focus on the 18-year-old players out of high school as opposed to the 21-year-olds, and maybe that's why Bobby Montez was not rated so highly. But I look at him and I just say, this guy, he looks good. I mean, the potential looks great. 84 to 94. Overall seems okay. I don't get it. We'll offer him a contract, and it's declined. Okay. We'll advance here for a minute, but I have a name that I want to get. Second base is the 26th ranked position in the league, and I'm going after someone who plays second base. And that is a player I wish I could have got last year, but I was doing Reds franchise. It's Nolan Gorman. He's having a great year for the Cardinals. He's not great defensively. That's the problem. But when we talk about the Cardinals, their biggest issue is not hitting. They have Wilson Contreras behind the plate, MVP Paul Goldschmidt, Brendan Donovan at second base behind Nolan Gorman, Nolan Arenado, and then the outfield, Tommy Edmonds, utility guy that can play anything, shortstop, third base, second base, center field, right, whatever. Mason Wynn is one of their top prospects in the middle infield. And then, of course, Jordan Walker, I think it was a first base, third base prospect that they moved to the outfield. They have Dylan Carlson, Victor Scott, electric speed, 50-plus stolen base potential, easily in center field. And then Lars Nootbaar, Alec Burleson. Hitting is not their problem. What is their problem? Pitching. They bring in Sonny Gray, but outside of that, Kyle Gibson is your number 2. Steven Matz, Miles Michaelis, Matt Liberatore. It is not a good group, and it's not like there's depth here either. So I want to make a move where I trade pitching in order to get Nolan Gorman. That's the plan. Our pitching's been pretty good this year. Of course, we have Seth Lugo. He's got a 3.6 ERA. Kyle Wright has been an awesome breakout. I probably don't want to trade him. He's got a 2.82 ERA, only 28 years old. And then, hopefully I'm not blocking too much. Brady Singer could be a name that we look to move, but I like Brady Singer. He's having another rough year. Hopefully he figures that out. But I'm thinking Seth Lugo could be involved in a trade. Cardinals just don't need Nolan Gorman as much. And we would trade maybe Daniel Lynch. Daniel Lynch, overall-wise, would slide into their rotation. He's having a great season at AAA. Whip over just over 1. ERA in the 1.9s. Not really striking out too many batters, but has been fantastic at AAA. 27 years old. I think he goes in the trade. What does our bullpen look like? Jojo Romero is actually going to be a reliever. Okay. Giovanni Gallegos. They have Andrew Kittredge. But their bullpen's also brutal. This bullpen looks terrible. Okay, maybe we throw in a reliever as well. We actually have decent relievers. We are going to move Seth Lugo, Daniel Lynch, and Will Smith as the Cardinals make the win now move to trade Nolan Gorman. He's had a pretty good season, no question, but hitting isn't their problem. They need pitching. We've got some pitching to give them, and Nolan Gorman is now a Royal. I'm running the team now. I make the moves. Nolan Gorman is... Where is he? Is he at the top here? He's an 82 overall. He's now our 4th highest rated player. He's having a really nice season, hitting 283 with 24 home runs. You know, he's basically producing similarly to... Where's Salvi here? Similarly to Salvi, just higher average. by, a lot of points. But I feel really good about that move. Of course, we trade away some pitching, but I think Gorman gives us a chance to be better long term. He's developing at a really nice rate so far, and I mean, he's slugging over 500. Contract wise, a lot of team control. A lot. He's not even arbitration eligible until 2026, and he's not a free agent until 2029. I think getting Nolan Gorman is really going to help us out in our weakest spot right now, and that's getting on base. His on base is 366. That's 70 points higher than our team on base right now. Second base is a really weak position for us. We start Adam Frazier. Not anymore. Nolan Gorman going to play second base. I think we're going to hit him second. Vinny Pasquantino cleanup. I like Salvi hitting third. Seems good to me. And then maybe Velazquez, Melendez, Renfroe, Isbel Garcia against right-handers. Not bad. And then against lefties, Gorman actually does have higher contact against lefties. So let's hit him third behind Bobby Witt Jr. And then we'll go Renfroe, Salvi. We need... Nolan Gorman can't play first. Well, he can, but it's not what he will play. He's going to play... He actually can't play first. I thought he came up as like a corner infield prospect. He's going to play second. Pasquantino back to first. And then Pasquantino cleanup. No, Pasquantino 5, Renfroe 4. Hunter Renfroe is a better 4. I might end up trading him. He's not having a great season, though. Trade value probably not all that good right now. But this should be a big inflection of not only power into our lineup, but the ability to actually get on base. Well, the problem is we just traded away a couple of starters. Chris Bubic can slide into the rotation. He'll become our 3. Actually, Kyle Wright's going to be our number 2. Then we'll go Bubic, Singer. We need a number 5. We need to make some moves here. I am, pretty sad about Asa Lacy in real life. It's tough to see him get injured again. He's pitching pretty well here in the minors. I'm going to make him our newest AAA starter. Asa Lacy gets the promotion. Jordan Lyles is like the rubber arm guy. He's actually pitching really well at AAA. He's going to move into our rotation, which makes a ton of sense. Frank Mazzucato to AA. Andrew Hoffman to AA. Call up Tyler Duffy to the MLB team. Kind of a no-brainer there as well. I would be calling up Jake Brent at some point probably, but Torn Peck has him sidelined. Noah Murdoch has pitched pretty well at AA. I think he's deserving of a promotion to AAA. And we need to call up another reliever as well. So Walter Pennington will also get a promotion. Someone has to take his place. That'll be Eric Sarantola. Nope. Sarantola. There we go. He'll go to AA. A lot of housekeeping to be done. Running an MLB organization by yourself, that's a lot. Cubs are interested in offering us another trade. It's Kyle Wright for Pete Crow Armstrong. You'd probably do this. PCA projects to be one of the better defensive center fielders in baseball. Who knows about the hit tool, but he can certainly play defense very fast and has hit pretty well in the minors. Again, I'm not going to make this trade happen. I really like what Kyle Wright has done for us so far, and I'm just not really interested in trading what has been one of our more reliable players. So we're going to hold on to Kyle Wright. Again, it's very tempting to just get these prospects and hope that we're really good in the future. But at the same time, I do want to keep some of these players that my goal is to build around. So we're going to jump in here. I was going to do a debut for Nolan Gorman, but we've jumped into a moment here. Bobby Witt Jr., 10-game hitting streak. Runner on second appears to be Michael Garcia. And that's a ground ball right at the shortstop, Dansby Swanson. Witt has great speed, but can't outrun the throw. Got a sinker right down the middle, but did exactly what a sinker is designed to do, or to get you to do, and that is hit the ball on the ground. Cole Reagans goes 9. Only 3 hits, 2 walks, strikes out 6. Complete game shutout for our ace, Cole Reagans. Michael Garcia, 3 for 4 with 3 doubles. Okay, have a season. Have a game at least. The Tigers are offering us a trade. Akil Baddoo for Salvi. No. I'm okay on that. We are going to player lock for the newest Royal, Nolan Gorman. Should be fun. Some of you have suggested to do what we did last year, which is go into player lock and do zone. But I think we're going to leave it on timing-based hitting and see what Nolan Gorman is capable of. This is his effective Royals debut for you guys. For me, I guess, as well. And we'll see what he's capable of. He's supposed to be this guy that can get on base at the top of our order. And I'm hoping that's exactly what he's able to do. Runners in the corners, nobody out. Against Shota Imanaga. I think that name is spelled incorrectly. I don't think he has another H in there. Gorman got a pitch to hit, ripped it, but right at the shortstop for a quick turn. Easy double play for the Cubs here in interleague play. Oh, man, Cubs probably have a pretty good scouting report on Gorman, facing him with the Cardinals so many times, but good opportunity there, just could not come through, but the rest of the team does. It's 5-1 off Imanaga, who's really struggling. Runners on first and second. Gorman with another big opportunity here. Didn't come up clutch the first time. Maybe he can now. Get into a hitter's count. Find a pitch to drive. And ideally hit it out of the ballpark. Into the fountains would be my preference. There's ball 2. And that, I was going to say, is ball 3, but the strike zone has expanded here with 2 balls and no strikes. Now 2-1. Can't believe that's not 3-0. And that is a really good pitch to hit. Just waiting for something out of the zone, but Imanaga comes and attacks. 2-2. Should be 3-1. Hanger, strike 3. Didn't hang as much as I thought. 72-mile-per-hour curveball. Gorman out in front. That was a heck of a pitch. I thought that was going to, stay up in the zone, down the middle. But no. Gorman gets some work here in the field. Ignore that. Probably rushed that one. Not exactly used to these, the player lock fielding. Potential double play, though. And not in time. Gorman doesn't have the arm. I rushed it to try and get the double play, but still could not do it. And then Seiya Suzuki hits a home run. Cubs trying to bring it back, and they pretty much already have brought it back. It's only a 2-run game. And that is an out. All right, you really don't have to rush with that one. Just take your time, make the throw. Okay, we know that now. Gorman 0 for 2. And you know the interesting thing, as the runner takes off, we're going to give him a chance to get second. He's in there. Every single time Nolan Gorman has come up to the plate, 3 at-bats now, there's been at least 1 runner on. And multiple times there have been multiple runners on. So, is this just a team that's going to get on base now? Are they pitching around to get to Nolan Gorman? That's bizarre. That's so slow. It's so slow. I gotta wait back if I get another curveball. It's 20 miles per hour slower than the fastball. At least. That's a 70 mile per hour curveball. The fastball's in the mid-90s. Oh, that's a ridiculous differential. Full count to Gorman. 3-2. Give him a pitch to hit, please. Just fouled it off. That's the problem when he throws that big looping curveball, is I'm almost sitting on the curveball instead of the fastball because the curveball's beat me a couple times now. But we work a walk. Slider off the plate. That was scary, man. I do not like the differentials of that fastball and that curveball. Renfroe strikes out. Running on anything here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Trying to extend our lead. Runners on first and second. And that ball is lined right to Christopher Morel. First and second. 1 down. Double play gets us out of the inning. Let's get a ground ball. We got one. To Witt. Gorman. Not in time. What is this throwing power? I think it's like 50-something. He can't throw out anybody. But we got out of the inning. Kyle Wright pitching fairly well. I mean, 3 runs is not bad. It's a quality start if he goes the distance here. The distance, of course, being, like 6 innings for a quality start. We'll take that. Letting Michael Garcia steal second this time. Another runner on base in front of Nolan Gorman. Oh, my goodness. Got me jammed, and it's an out. Just trying to do too much in the debut. Curveball up and in. That's probably just a pitch you take for a strike and live to see another pitch. Certainly got a little antsy. Then we're able to time up the sinker, but again, right at the shortstop. We end up winning. Nelson Velasquez homers, but not a great debut for Nolan Gorman. We trade for him, and he lets us down. And part of that can be on who was controlling him, I bet. Did time up a couple of pitches in there. Just could not get rewarded. And the Angels are offering a trade. Jake Marisnick for Salvi? No. Why would I do that? Let's try to sign some draft picks here. Mitch Soriano, maybe the brother of the first baseman, Juan Soriano. I'm trying to get him under slot value. 61% interest, and he declines. Bobby Montez surely will accept this one. Nope, declines it. I'm trying to sign these guys under slot value, and it's just not working. Rondell Galarraga, I will pay over slot value, and he has decided to sign. I mean, potential for him, 71 and 93. That's pretty good. And just 2 players are holding out so far. The Rays are going to offer a trade. Richie Palacios for Salvi. No. Not going to do that. I will up Bobby Montez's offer to 830, and he's declined it again. Mitch Soriano. All right, we're going to up this a little bit. Let's get him to sign no matter what. And then it's all down to Bobby Montez. So we're going to get that interest up, and he should be signing. Padres offering a trade, and they have really changed this offer. They want MJ Melendez badly, but I don't want any of these players. Nolan Watson, Cal Mitchell, and Robert Perez. Who? It's a whole lot of who. But look at our record here. Post All-Star break, and even in the month of July, we're starting to win games. This is the trade deadline. Could we be buyers in any conceivable way here? I honestly don't think so. I think we got to be sellers. I think Renfroe gets traded here at the deadline. I think we could look to trade a reliever. Nick Anderson has to go. Based on his contract, he needs to be moved. John Schreiber probably as well. We got to think about the future for these guys. Again, James McCarthy was somebody that got updated as well. People were wondering why the attributes were so good, even though they're really not very good. He's going to be the closer. Outside of like the first 2 innings of his debut last year, he was awesome. Like the final 20 innings, he was one of the best relievers in baseball. So we boosted his attributes, and that's part of why he's playing so well here. But they're not anything crazy. I mean, he was, I think, 71, 72, maybe even a 73 overall when we got to him, which is, yeah, I don't think too wild for the closer of the Royals, especially with the numbers he put up. But I think we're going to call that the episode for now. I hate to not show you guys the draft picks yet, but that was a big trade deadline episode. Another trade could be made next episode as well. I would say Hunter Renfroe had a good run in Reds franchise, but Hunter Renfroe, that's probably it. Just not going to be a thing. Under contract for 2 years, not hitting well. Maybe a change of scenery is what he needs. So somebody we probably move. But that's the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.